afternoon, everybody, or good morning, depending on where you are. It's Robert McCarthy here of Dyflex Solutions. Thank you for joining the session today. Today we're going to be looking at how SAP and our intelligent enterprise solutions help manage complex construction projects. So we're going to go for about an hour today, and what we're going to do is do a little bit of an introduction first, and then we're going to have a look at some of the SAP solutions for complex construction, and have a look at how the intelligent enterprise solution helps support construction organizations in the industry. And then we're going to switch over to LTI, who are going to show us some industry-specific functionality that they built on top of the core of S/4HANA. And then we'll do a bit of a roundup and close. So during the session today, I'll be joined by three presenters who I'll introduce in a second. And at the end of each section, there'll be a poll set of questions actually appearing on the screen. So it'd be very helpful, actually, if you could just click the answer that most applies to you through, and we might actually refer back to those responses actually as we go through the session. So as I said, we're aiming for about an hour. And firstly, I suppose, let's introduce the people who are actually going to be doing the session. So firstly, it's myself, Robert McCarthy. I'm the General Manager of Sales for Dyflex Solutions. I'm based out of Perth, WA, but look after the whole of Australia. And then joining me today, we have Shanaz. Shanaz is the Global Industry Director for Construction and Real Estate with SAP. And Shanaz, I believe you're joining us from Singapore. And then we have Kevin Dana. Sorry. And then we have Debshanan Das, who's a Senior Manager at LTI, who'll be taking us through the third section of today's session. So what I might do is maybe just give you a little bit of information about Dyflex Solutions. So we're a local Australian partner, and we are an SAP partner, obviously, and we look after everything from S/4HANA, old ECC type installs, but also Business by Design, SAP Analytics Cloud, Ariba. And we have a history in the resources sector, which is the mining and oil and gas space. And out of that, we've actually expanded into utilities, but also then into construction, civils, mining services types organizations. And those are aligned very, very well to the construction sector, given that they're very asset and project-centric businesses, and subject to a lot of variation and change in terms of how they actually operate. So they need quite agile solutions. So we've got quite a bit of experience in terms of implementing and supporting partners in those particular areas. And what we'll talk about later on is how that experience aligns to both SAP strategy for construction, but also LTI's focus on the industry in terms of their product offerings in the market as well. So as I said, we are an Australian-based business. We've got a head office here in Perth. We've got an office in Adelaide, Sydney, and then a presence in Melbourne and Brisbane. So we've got that national coverage. So we've got 70 odd consultants across each of those offices. And again, as I said, we have a proven experience across many asset and project-centric organizations in Australia, and that's what we're building on in terms of developing a solution for the construction industry. When we look at construction, and typically from a functional perspective, we're seeing the typical challenges that are appearing, and really what they come down to are a number of disparate applications or spreadsheets or homegrown databases that are used to support operational aspects of the business. And really the challenge for most EC&O organizations is, how do I bring my time management, vendor management, project management, asset management, forecasting capability into a centralized core? And really that's what we're working on with SAP and with LTI in terms of developing a series of solutions that will allow you to bring all of that information together, have a single source of the truth, and operate on a single platform that will, extend and expand and increase in capability as and when you need it, but also provides that flexibility as the business change, as the nature of your engagements change as well. So that's a little bit about what we're going to talk about today, is really aligning all of those products, those functional requirements into a single set of solutions, into a single platform, and what that might look like for the construction industry overall. And what we want to get to is really a scenario where we provide a true end-to-end coverage from a functional perspective, and we get all the business benefits that people would want out of that. So improved visibility of information, timeliness of data. We often hear in construction scenarios of waiting 4, 5, 6 weeks for project status updates, project performance information. Really, what we want to get to with an SAP solution is a scenario whereby that information is updated every day. Right? So project managers know they have a true up-to-date view of their own project performance, and obviously that rolls up into the financial performance, the cash position of the business, etc. as well. And then from a compliance perspective, obviously that's very, very important for the industry as a whole, both in terms of compliance, in terms of keeping their workers safe, but also contractual compliance, subcontractor compliance, vendor compliance, etc. And ultimately, we want to get to a scenario where, construction industry generally operates on quite a low margin, so cash is king. So improving that cash management capability, that visibility, maximizing cash flow values is absolutely key to what they do on a day-to-day basis. In terms of LTI and Dyflex and what our partnership means, and it is a new partnership, we've established it a little while ago. Dyflex have that asset and project-centric experience across a number of industries, and we have an excellent reputation of delivering quality solutions within the Australian market, particularly. And what LTI bring to the table in combination with the SAP team is a number of industry-specific tools for subcontractor management, for project management, for resource planning, etc. And Deb will actually go through some examples of where they've actually implemented that before, and that provides a real bonus to the overall SAP solution. It's actually industry specific. Those solutions are written with the construction industry in mind. They're written to be used the way the construction industry actually uses them as well. So we think there's a huge opportunity within the Australian market for those solutions, and we're very excited about the possibilities that actually lay ahead for us in that regard. So now what I might do is I'll hand over to Shanaz, and Shanaz is going to introduce herself and then give us an overview of how SAP and the Intelligent Enterprise is helping construction organizations. So Shanaz, I'll hand over to you.
Thanks, Rob, for that introduction. And, hello, everyone, and welcome to this session that we've organized today together with Dyflex and LTI. My name is Shanaz Bilkis, and first, allow me to share my screen very quickly. And while I do that, Marion, could you please confirm that you can see and hear me properly? Okay, and here we go. So, hello, everyone. My name is Shanaz Bilkis. I'm part of the SAP's global industry team. I'm the global industry director specifically for construction and real estate. Essentially, what we do in the industry team is we define the 3-year strategy for SAP's products for our industry. And one of the primary things that we do is to work with customers like yourselves and identify gaps that we have in the solution portfolio, and then work internally with either our development teams or externally with partners to build solutions to bridge that gap. And LTI happens to be one of those partners. LTI is our strategic partner for construction with whom we've built, industry-specific solutions to address the needs of our customers. So that's a short introduction to me, what I do. I'm based out of Singapore, but I do play a global role, and I'm happy to be here with you today. Before I go and talk about managing complex construction projects with SAP, the whole question is why, right? Why must we embark on this journey today, and what makes it so urgent? And that's really the essence of it, is growth. And the growth comes in multiple facets, right? If you look at the global population, there is tremendous growth in population, and they have to live somewhere. They might be working from home for the foreseeable future, but they would still have to live somewhere. So that means they need infrastructure, right? They need homes, they need buildings. That is coupled with the fact of, we are facing the greatest migration in human history. 2 out of 3 people in the world will be living in cities by 2050. And that basically means by 2025, construction spend will grow to about, $15 trillion, which is 70% more than it was about 6 years ago. All that culminates into tremendous growth. What does this mean? 75% of the infrastructure that is expected to exist in 2050 doesn't exist today yet. To really appreciate what that growth looks like, just if you're near a window or a door, just look out the window. Double what you see, then double it again. That is the kind of growth that we're talking about, and it's tremendous. And what makes it more challenging is historically the construction industry itself has been known to be of low productivity, and we haven't yet caught up with industries like in manufacturing and those industries, and there's quite a bit of productivity gap. What that entails is projects today are getting more complex. You want greener projects. A lot of mixed use developments are happening. They're getting more technologically advanced, but at the same time, experienced, skilled labor, they're retiring. And the newbies that are coming into the workforce, they have a different mindset. They're not coming in with the same kind of skills and mindset that we have this, experienced workers. And that inflection point basically means projects are getting riskier. So, this need for growth, the need for infrastructure, massive growth, culminating together with increasing project risks is basically pressuring construction companies to act today, to basically change the way construction works today, in the way we run our business processes. And this is where SAP helps. So why do we help and how do we help? The first thing we offer, and that is the culmination of our entire proposition to construction companies, is an intelligent enterprise. Helps companies turn insight into action. It's really about leveraging data. And as you know, construction involves scores and cores of data across multiple stakeholders. And they all sort of has to, dance together in symphony, in a synchronized manner, to be able to execute on certain projects on time, on budget. And to really enable construction companies to be able to do that, we help you turn that data into insight, and that insight into action.
Hello. Good morning. Good afternoon, everyone. I am Dev Chandan Das from Larsen and Toubro Infotech. Like most of you, I am also coming with ECNO industry background. Before moving to SAP world or IT world, I was associated with Float, and in my previous engagements, I was majorly engaged into large-scale oil and gas capital projects. Currently, I am leading the ECNO program from LTI side, and in my current engagement, I work with the SAP team and other partners across the ECNO system to design and deploy the solutions for the customers in multiple geographies. Okay. So this is a quick background about myself. Now I would like to take a minute to quickly introduce you to LTI and L&T Group. So Larsen and Toubro Infotech is the IT services wing of L&T Group. L&T, which is Larsen and Toubro Group, is a construction-based conglomerate. For over 80 years, L&T is delivering respectable performance and constantly with deep focus on technical competency and quality, which is inherent in the organization. Our group operates in across diversified industry verticals, be it oil and gas, power, manufacturing of industrial equipment, real estate, civil infrastructure, defense, IT services, financial services, and many more. As you can see on the screen, these are some of the landmark projects delivered by L&T Group, which includes one of the world's largest offshore complex, world's tallest statue, FIFA 2022 World Cup Stadium in Qatar, Wankhede Cricket Stadium in Mumbai Metro, Hyderabad Metro, and many more. So, The interesting part is that all the diversified business processes of L&T Group runs on SAP. So, as highlighted on the screen, you can see the solution footprint is quite robust and complex in nature. It caters 23 plus factories and 140 plus odd companies across 20 nations. These applications are used by more than 14,000 plant users apart from 75,000 HR users. And as LTI, we have designed and delivered all these solutions to our group companies. Now, before we get into further details, I would like to take a minute to give you an overview about the digitization journey that we have initiated at our parent group, L&T. So, as you can see, the statistics shown on the slides highlights the level of penetration and adoption in the organization. These digital initiatives helped us to connect with 11,000 plus plants and equipments across 450 plus digital sites. These applications are used by more than 25,000 site workforces who are using more than 350K mobile phones per month. So now I would like to highlight that with this kind of digitization initiative, what kind of business values can be achieved, right? So as you can see, the business values that were delivered at L&T Group can be categorized into multiple buckets. The first and most obvious is the obvious point area is the operating efficiency. When we started this digitization journey, our focus was quite simple. Uh, we wanted to gain insights into our equipment utilization. Basically, for how long these equipments are operated at different sites, when these equipments are idle, and that insights helped us to reduce the equipment idle time by 20%. Then we further get into details to get visibility around how these equipments are actually operated at this site location, and that generated further insight that how this equipment can be operated in a much better way to improve overall equipment efficiency, and that resulted in a 6 to 7% improvement. Further sophistication helped us in overall energy consumption reduction by 8%. So all these changes are synergistic in nature, and together this translated into a significant improvement in your overall operating efficiency. The next important area was worker safety and productivity. And in today's time of COVID-19, this has become a more crucial challenge for every company across the geography. So, and all the developments that were done in this area were possible through augmented reality-based training, institutionalization of the knowledge across the organization, then getting further insights into worker safety, their location, safety measures taken by them at the project sites, your incident trends, and further cause and effect analysis. And those insights helped us in improve the workers' availability by 30%, further reduction in near misses of critical incident by 30%, and so on. So with all these insights, the operation managers were able to understand what's going on actually at the project sites, which resources are allocated, which resources are consumed at which point of time. And these kind of insights again helped us to reduce the equipment hiring cost by 20%, optimize the capacity for batching plants by 30 to 35%. So the point here is that all these initiatives resulted in a wave of transformation across the organization. And if you allow me to summarize in one sentence, then I would say all these digital transformation initiatives led into a 2% improvement EBITDA over $11 billion of revenue, which is the turnover of L&T's flagship business. Now, with all these domain insights and technical competencies, we have joined hands with SAP to co-innovate solutions for ECNO industry and to bring into the market for different customers with the help of partners like Dyflex. Last year, we were also awarded SAP's Pinnacle Award, which was given to the best industry innovation partner across the industry verticals, be it oil and gas, CPG, professional services, manufacturing, and many more. And LTI was awarded this year this award majorly because of its contribution to the ECNO industry. On the screen, a couple of other references from the customers across the globe with whom we are working. Their recommendations also highlighted for your reference. Now, I would like to give you a quick glimpse about our recent engagements in project business domain. So the first top left-hand side, this is a modular home company. They are a startup in UK. This company promises to deliver home from scratch in 36 days. And all that is possible because of the intelligent enterprise they have at the back end, which supports their end-to-end business processes. And as LTI, we have helped them design and deliver this end-to-end enterprise solution for this entity. The next organization is also very interesting one. This is a large construction-based conglomerate in Qatar. This company comprises more than 26 entities, and we are helping them transform their enterprise core around SAP solutions for all the group companies. Then another reference that I would like to highlight, if you look at the right hand bottom one, so this is a EPC and mining company in Indonesia. This company is already using SAP solutions, and they wanted to improve their project management and project procurement related capabilities. And this is when we are helping them to transform their project management and procurement related process with additional solution extensions, which are industry specific. So now you would be wondering that so far we talked about so many initiatives, so many processes. So what is our approach when we are talking about this kind of digital transformation? We understand that typically an enterprise solution landscape prevails in the industry, which is highlighted on the right hand side. It comprises your SAP ERP along with specialized application for your project planning, estimation, engineering and design. And on the right hand side, on the left hand side, you have your project sites where the resources are deployed, resources are consumed, and those insights are generated to get visibility into operational intricacies, right? And we are helping the customers by putting the solution in between, which will help you to synchronize both the sides. In the process, it will help you to achieve some of the, I would say, some of the goals that the organization might be interested in. Number one, keep the ERP clean and simple. Set up industry best practices, leveraging the industry specific solution extensions. Set up the single source of truth in collaboration with the partners in the ecosystem. And last but not the least, an end-to-end data backbone which will enable seamless information flow across the value chain. Okay. So this is our approach for evolution of the enterprise landscape solution around SAP's industry products. Now, I would like to give you a quick glimpse about the components of Intelligent Enterprise Solution Stack. So, as you can see, the bottom layer is the SAP S/4HANA or the ERP core, and then on top of that, we have SAP Enterprise Project Portfolio Management. We have templatized industry-specific solutions on top of it. And then in the middle layer, there are two, I would say, categories. The first category of the solution, these are industry specific solutions which seamlessly integrates with your ERP core and help you to realize the business values, which are typically not fully covered in any kind of ERP. Okay. Say, for example, I would like to give you one example of this project paychain application. So, just you know, yeah. So, typically in construction industry, we have seen that once you receive a contract from the customer to execute that project, you need to engage multiple number of suppliers and subcontractors throughout the project life cycle, and these suppliers and subcontractors deliver their products and services to the construction site as per the timeline, and then they submit their progress application and invoices to the main contractor, and then it becomes a tedious job for the contractor to consolidate all this information to get a visibility into the actual customer contract progress performance. And in the same process, uh, lack of visibility into the project cash flow management, this is another pain area that we have seen in the industry. So focusing on these challenges, we have developed this solution called Project Paychain. This solution is seamlessly integrated with your SAP ERP. So you can see first on the left hand side, the all contract customer contract related information can be captured here, and you can see that all industry specific contract types can be maintained under one customer contract, be it your unit rate, milestone, TNM, or anything else, right? The next screen highlights the current status of the project payments for this particular customer contract. What is the progress? What is the actual customer contract value? What is the tax rate? What progress has been achieved? What has been invoiced? What has been retained? What is the pending amount, outstanding amount, and so many others. And on the right hand side, this is the typical payment application that you raise for your customers. And through Paychain application, you can automate the processes related to this payment certification generation. And this payment certificate will consist all information related to your customer contract along with the line item level progress details that has been achieved for this particular time duration. So this was about the customer contract part. Similarly, on the subcontractor side, this application will help you to collaborate with the partners in the value chain. So basically, you can invite your subcontractors to use this paychain application to submit their progress application directly in the paychain itself, right? So you don't have to do any manual work to consolidate the progress applications from different suppliers and subcontractors. So in the process, what will happen? First, your subcontractor will receive an email notification that will have a link to the subcontract line item levels which are relevant for them with respect to the particular project, and they will be able to only access those limited informations only. Once they click on this link, they will be able to see the screen as you can see on the right hand side. This is where all the subcontract line item level details are displayed, and they can enter progress directly over here itself and submit it for review. Once the progress application is submitted by the subcontractor, you can review the progress application directly in Paychain itself. If required, you can approve it. If required, you can send it back for review. So in the process, or it will help you to standardize the end-to-end invoice processing management related activities, number one. And number two, it will help you to collaborate with the partners and help create a single source of truth along with industry specific processes such as back-to-back arrangements and many others. Another quick example that I would like to highlight is about solution which is lying on the third layer, which is the analytics layer. So basically, this is a project management cockpit. This is what we have named it. Right? Basically, this application will enable 360-degree visibility into your project performance in terms of the progress, in terms of schedule, in terms of cost, in terms of resources, along with forecasting, also along with the forecasting capabilities. So for example, typically, as you can see on the screen, the red line shows the red or amber line shows that this is a typical requirement plan that is being generated from your scheduling application or your ERP application. And as and when the project progress are performed, the resources are consumed, and based on these resources, actual consumption rate is highlighted on the screen with the blue line. And the dotted line represents the forecasted resource requirement, and that is calculated based on the actual plan and actual resource consumption rate. So this is the kind of capability that this solution will enable for the organization in this industries. And then another quick insight that I would like to highlight. This is the insight related to estimation at completion. Typically, uh, while calculating this kind of graphs, lot of data need to be calculated from different parties in the value chain, and that typically are collected through mail communication and other channels. And then some manual interventions are required to calculate these graphs. And even after putting all these efforts, you are not getting the real-time visibility because those informations are not captured on real time. But with the applications like Project Management Cockpit, which is integrated with all the backend ERP applications, be it your ERP or specialized applications for your planning and anything else. And through this seamless integration, you will be able to generate this kind of quick insight on real-time basis with no matter of time. So this is the kind of solution stack, business values that we are bringing onto the table. So with this, I would like to take a pause and ask you if you have any further questions. Please let me know. Otherwise, I would hand it over to Rob.
Excellent, Deb. Thank you very much for that. I really appreciate your input there, mate. So what we'll do now is we might just do a bit of just a very, very quick roundup. And so yeah, so what we've seen there from Deb and the team at LTI is really, a series of tools which greatly enhance the SAP offering. I think you'll agree that they are designed with the EC&O industry and complex project management industry in mind. And what they do is then, build on or feed into our desire to create that unique end-to-end solution for complex construction projects, complex organizations who are executing complex projects and managing assets and people to deliver on those projects as well. So, in summary, we've seen what the capability of the solution is. What we're offering, obviously, is the chance for, as an individual to have a discussion with us. If you want to make contact with myself or the team at LTI, we have some contact details there. You can use the email address that was provided as part of the invite as well to actually reach out to us as well, or log on to the website, or have a look on LinkedIn for dyflex.com.au, or give me a ring on the mobile. My mobile number's there. We will share some of the content that was actually displayed here today, and apologies that we missed out on Shanaz's content. I'm sure we'll have a repeat session at some point over the next couple of weeks, and we'll revisit that. So we'll make sure you're all invited to that session as well. But yeah, please reach out if you have any questions, if you want to find out some more, or indeed you want to just have a chat for an hour and see how we can actually help you, either representatives from Dyflex, from LCI, or indeed SAP. So with that, I'll thank you all for your time today. We're finishing a little bit early, so we'll give you a little bit of your day back. And yes, been a good session. Apologies for the technical issues, but yep, thank you again for your attendance. Take care.